Hi, I'm Paula Nowak. Hi, I'm Paula Nowak, and I am a member of the Canadian Bioenergetics Wellness Committee, the webinar committee. And today I'm excited to talk about the benefits of compassion. Compassion for others, compassion for ourselves, and compassion in action. And I will also share today a few experiential activities of self-compassion through self-care. Psychologist Rick Hanson suggests that we have three basic needs: safety, satisfaction, and connection. And during the last, year, that has been disrupted for all of us. And we've all been challenged by the events that have been going on. So today I want to talk about self-compassion. I think that that's a wonderful way to support ourselves during this challenging time. So it's suggested that self-compassion is how we understand another's suffering and we desire to take action to decrease that for another. And Dr. Kirsten Neff, who specializes in compassion and self-compassion, said when we notice the suffering of another person, we feel moved by their suffering and our heart responds to the pain of their suffering. And it's that being with, it's that suffering with them. And when we desire to do something and alleviate that suffering, that's when it starts to shift. That's when we, our compassion and our kindness, our understanding, our caring, our support helps to recognize the suffering of the other and support the other. And knowing that, those sufferings and struggles and feelings of inadequacy, they're all part of our shared human experience. So neuroscientists are saying that, human beings, we're wired for compassion. We're wired for connection. And when we think and we act in a compassionate manner, we activate those pleasure centers in our brain. And there's that neurochemistry of kindness. And that hormone of oxytocin is released. And that activates serotonin and dopamine. And though, it's that feeling good, it allows for happiness and optimism. So today I want to talk a little bit about compassion in action, not only compassion in action for one another, but also compassion in action for ourselves. So, the neuroscientists are saying compassion in action for ourselves and for others has so many benefits, to our mind, to our body, to our heart, and to our connections with one another. So as Kirsten Neff was saying, self-compassion, it's not about goodwill. It is actually about goodwill. It's not about good feelings. It's about taking action for the good of another. And when, with self-compassion, it's really what we would want for the other is what we'd want for ourselves. So, when we're being there for a dear friend, we're kind, we're compassionate, we're supportive, we're listening, we're compassionately listening, and we're being with them in the pain of the moment. And we're embracing them with kindness and care and just being present with them. And we have that opportunity with self-compassion to befriend ourselves, to be kind and caring and loving to ourselves as we share this human experience of struggle and difficulty and suffering. And when we recognize that, when we're with that, that helps to move us forward. So Kirsten Neff suggests that compassion is composed of three elements. One is the self-compassion is about kindness. And it's the self-kindness versus being self-judging or self-critical. And the other element she suggests is it's about our common humanity rather than our isolation and separation. And the third element she talks about is the mindfulness element versus that over-identification, especially with our feelings and our stories, exaggerating, over-identifying with them. So she talks about, that whole idea of that kindness and understanding, when we fail and when we're suffering, when we're going through difficulty, when we're feeling inadequate, when we're feeling self-critical, and recognizing that all of us are going through that experience of, being imperfect, of going through challenging times, of experiencing suffering, of experiencing difficulties. And we experience that at different times throughout our lives. And how can we be gentle with ourselves and kind with ourselves and be with that experience and yet be kind and loving and caring? And then she talks about how, recognizing this is part of our human experience. And when we think we're the only one that are experiencing this, that creates more suffering. It creates isolation. It creates disconnection from others and even from ourselves. So to recognize this is a shared human experience for all of us. And then the last thing she talks about is, that idea of mindful awareness. And awareness is meant to be, aware of what is present in our body, what is present in our mind, what's present in our emotions, and to actually be receptive to that, to be with that, and really that opportunity to have that compassion for what is going on. So, as human beings, we are programmed for connection. We're programmed for compassion. And I like to think of self-care is that way of bringing that self-compassion to us in action. So it's taking that action of caring for myself, of being kind for myself, of recognizing I'm part of humanity, and then what can I do to nurture myself, to care for myself? So the interesting thing about human beings and mammals is that we actually do crave and require touch. And we require the warmth. There's that physical warmth and that loving, gentle, soothing touch. And the soothing voice. And you think of the parent with the child, the parent with the baby. It's that beautiful, gentle, soothing touch. It's the warmth of heart to heart. And it's that soothing voice. And we have that opportunity that we can do that for ourselves as well. So today I'd like to share with you a few self-compassion exercises. And the first one is that opportunity to experience it for yourself. I invite you to soften your gaze or close your eyes and come into this present moment of awareness. And just focus on the breath for a moment. And perhaps placing one hand at your heart center and your other hand at your belly, below your navel. And just coming into this present moment of awareness and just noticing, having a self-compassion scale, that self-compassion or, that self-criticism. Where are you on that scale in this moment? Self-kindness or self-criticism, and being aware of that. And being aware of what is your struggle and difficulty and suffering right now in this moment. And taking a breath into that. Becoming mindfully aware of this present moment of struggle, of suffering, and allowing yourself to be with that for a few moments. Breathing into that and knowing that others are also struggling and suffering right now. and that this is part of our humanity. It's part of our connection. And know that we're not in isolation. We're in connection with one another. Know that you are not alone in this struggle. And breathing into that, knowing that that is a part of our life's journey, the ups and the downs. And then choosing to be kind to yourself and nurturing. And we have our hand on our heart and our hand on our abdomen, allowing that loving nurturing to come into our being, that kindness, that gentle touch. And just noticing, what do I need right now? What do I need to express kindness and care for myself right now? And breathe that right down into your abdomen, that kindness, compassion, and care. And what is it that you need to hear right now? What is the kindness that you could express to yourself right now? And you could say it out loud, or you can say it in your mind. And it may be, I'm okay. May I be strong. May I be patient. May I give myself the compassion that I need. May I be kind to myself. May I nurture myself. And self-compassion is extending that compassion to ourselves that we would have extended to our dear friend if our dear friend was with us right now. When we're feeling struggle and difficulty, suffering, inadequacy. And instead of ignoring that, being with it for a few moments and holding the space, a loving compassion and kindness. And being aware that yes, right now it is challenging and it is tough. And what is it that I need to nurture myself? And take a deep breath into that. Way down into the abdomen. And then I invite you to take your hands in front and just very gently touch your palms of your hands, your fingers back and forth. We're going to do a beautiful self-care technique, and I call it compassionate hearts, which I thought is perfect for this one today. So we'll begin by gently and lightly placing our hands on our face. So what we're going to do is put our thumbs at our temples, our fingertips above our eyebrows, and we're going to place our hands over our cheeks, our cheekbones. And we're holding our hands lightly, allowing ourselves to care for ourselves, be kind to ourselves, to nurture ourselves. And breathing into that for a few moments, noticing what is it that you need at this present moment. Allowing the breath to come down into your abdomen, expanding on the inhale, and allowing your abdomen to release on the exhale. And I mentioned earlier that Humans and mammals require touch, soothing words. And we're going to have an opportunity to experience that through creating hearts on our face and on our body. So we're going to gently and lightly take our fingertips and create a heart around our face, going very slowly and gently. And just noticing this sensory experience, noticing the gentleness of it. So we're just creating a heart on our face. And you may decide that it feels good to do it with your eyes closed. Just gentle, loving hearts. And you can even add soothing phrases as you're doing this. It can be, I'm calm, I'm relaxed, I am kind, I am compassionate. Then we're going to move our hearts up and we're going to go at our hairline. So we're going to go out behind our ears, down to our chin and back. So the heart is getting a little bit bigger. Gentle touch, soft touch. And we're touching calming points on our head and on our face. Again, a soothing touch, gentle, soothing words. I'm calm, I'm relaxed. I am compassionate. I am self-compassionate. And then bringing your hands down to your chest, down to your heart center. Taking a breath for a moment. Now what we're going to do is draw hearts down our arms. So it's going to be like two butterfly wings coming over to our opposite arms, coming down very slowly with a soothing touch, and then coming back to our heart center. So the two butterfly wings create a heart. And you can close your eyes or soften your gaze, going at your own pace of gently soothing, calm, nurturing touch. Self-compassion in action. Continuing to breathe. I am calm and relaxed. I am kind and compassionate. I am loving and I am kind. And landing on heart center and breathing into that for a few moments and taking a few moments to notice. Where are you on the self-compassion scale now? And taking a moment to notice your body. How are you feeling in your body in this present moment? And noticing your mind. What is present? So self-care is a great way of practicing self-compassion. I consider self-care, self-compassion an action. And any time that you'd like to practice self-care and self-compassion in action, come back to soothing movements. Calming self-care techniques can be a great way to reconnect with yourself and to come back to those basic needs of compassion and connection and well-being. Have a beautiful day and may it flow with well-being, self-compassion, and self-care. Have the best day. And I'm Paula Nowak from Can Be Well.